April 24th, 2023 begins like any other day in Milimani, Kitengela area. However, just a few hours into the day, police officers were called into the home of Olivia Nazarene, a home she shared with her parents and her 2-year-old daughter. And the police met with a crime scene none of them was prepared for. It was of horrific violence. The horrors they found in that room on that fateful day was unimaginable. Even seasoned police officers were horrified of the crime scene. It was horrific, bloody, and extremely violent. There was blood and human flesh everywhere, on the floor, on the walls, and even on the sofa sets. No word could describe the crime scene that this woman you are seeing on your screen right now created on that day. Olivia Nazarene had stabbed her 2-year-old daughter more than 100 times, leading to her demise. As if that was not enough, she went ahead and cut her into pieces, ate her intestine, her liver, and her kidney, making her one of the most evil mothers to ever walk the earth. But wait until you hear her reason for doing this horrible thing to her own daughter. It will shock you to the core. Now, before we dive into the crooked mind of Olivia Nazarene, let me take this opportunity to introduce you to Sirimbaville. In this channel, we explore true crime stories, suspicious deaths, murders, and any story that is crime related. We are just starting out, so please consider subscribing to our channel. Your subscription goes a long way to help us reach our goal, which we really appreciate. So please support our work by subscribing and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss when we upload. I would also like to take this opportunity to send our deepest sympathies to the families, friends, and loved ones of Olivia Nazarene and Gloria Njeri, who became victims to the abominable acts described in this video. Viewer discretion is therefore advised. There is a belief that a mother's love is always considered to be pure, strong, and unconditional. Mothers always give their best even if they've been through the worst. Their love towards their children is always considered the first love. A love so pure, so true, so unbreakable. However, our case today gives a rather different, horrific, shocking, and a much distorted version to this belief. This is the tragic story of Gloria Njeri, a 2-year-old girl who was betrayed in the worst possible way by someone whom she trusted and loved the most, her own mother. It was just a normal Sunday morning. Most families were preparing to go to church, while others were just resting at home, getting ready for the week ahead. Unfortunately, it was a Sunday that would horrify the small, peaceful neighborhood of Milimani in Kitengela area. A tragedy had come to their town, and sadly, it was a tragedy that would haunt them for a very long time. This community of Milimani in Kitengela area was forced to witness a crime nobody thought possible. Their peaceful Sunday had turned into a tragic nightmare. It all began with a video trending on social media. For 3 minutes, this mother, Olivia Nazarene, is seen in this video stabbing her 2-year-old daughter, baby Gloria Njeri, more than 100 times. In the video, you could hear the sound of the knife hitting the tile floor as it pierced through her daughter's tiny body over and over again. She repeated this and inflicted more than 100 individual wounds on her own child while singing a lullaby. After stabbing her child to death, Olivia was not done with her sickening brutality. She went ahead, cut her into pieces, and ate her intestine, her kidney, and her liver. People were shocked, just like you are shocked right now. Many questions were asked. Was Olivia sick? Was Olivia delusional? Was Olivia possessed, or was she just pure evil? Now, let's dig deeper into this horrific story that led to a tragic end of a very young life. Now, not much is known about Olivia's childhood, but she was born and raised in a normal household with two hardworking parents who provided for her and her sibling. She had a pretty standard childhood. In this case, however, we are introduced to Olivia while she's still in college. Olivia was living with her boyfriend, who is also the father of the 2-year-old, in Kirinyaga, where she was also a student studying for diploma in commerce. Now, according to reports, after almost a year into the come-we-stay marriage, there was a disagreement between Olivia and her boyfriend that led to Olivia leaving the home they shared together and coming back to her parents' home in Kitengela. This is sadly where this horrific act happened, some 30 kilometers south of Kenyan capital Nairobi. Her parents' home in Kitengela, Olivia was welcomed by both her parents and her family. She did not tell her family she was coming back home, and they noticed she had only a few of her clothes, her baby's clothes, and her laptop. The family also noticed that she did not have a phone with her. Now, her family and the people who knew her well, said she was always a very respectful, very hardworking, and a disciplined girl. They said she even prepared supper for the family that Saturday night leading to the fateful Sunday. It was chapati and beans. Now, on this fateful day, both her parents had gone to church. There was no warning signs to show that she would carry any crime, leave alone such a brutal crime of murdering her own child in cold blood. However, on this day, her aunt and some of her neighbors say they heard sounds coming from Olivia's home. She started speaking in tongues and acting in a weird way. She even started breaking household items, throwing utensils like plates and cups on the floor, breaking them into pieces. She even broke the TV on the wall and chased their beloved family dog out of the house, locking the door behind her with 2 padlocks. And from this stage, things escalated to the worst. Olivia was heard singing a lullaby, and amidst this lullaby, people, as in the neighbors, could hear Gloria scream in pain. Alarmed, they rushed to the home, thinking somebody might have attacked the family. And to their surprise, the sight they saw that day was something none of them was prepared for. And unfortunately, it was a scene that will haunt them for a very, very long time. Inside the locked door, they could see Olivia sharpening a knife, naked while singing a lullaby. With all entry points locked from inside, they could not intervene. All of a sudden, they would hear Olivia sing, and I quote, "You will never cry again, my baby. You will forever sleep. I love you, my daughter." And there and then, she began stabbing her daughter repeatedly. Despite the neighbors pleading with her to stop, she did not stop. She continued with this horrific act while singing the lullaby. The neighbors called the police as others tried to break down the doors and windows as seen in the video. One of the neighbors started recording what was happening, which eventually became the trending video.
Out there, I really do hate them, and I love you, I do know I love you.
How is it outside?
You know, you cry for me, and I saw what I did. I saw.
Olivia? Hey, Olivia.
He is going to fucking kill us now.
Na nivunja mlango bana. What are you waiting for? Oh, hata wewe mtoto bana. No, I'm documenting. I'm documenting. Just as long as Chief be vigilant. My goodness, what is this? What? Manza kumdunga. Olivia! Stop! 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 Olivia, stop! 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 Olivia, stop! Olivia, stop it! Olivia, stop! Oh my God! What is this? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! What are you doing? Call the police! Ako mbali. What is this? Stop it!
That is why I have to do and made you so quiet. So he would notice.
Naona brother.
Quiet. I really hate those people. They know that I do. They stood there and watched me. They stood there and watched me. I'm really fucking afraid. I'm really I know I'm fucking afraid. I know I'm fucking
For 3 minutes in this video, Olivia is seen stabbing her 2-year-old daughter, Gloria Njeri, more than 100 times. In the video, you will hear the sound of the knife hitting the tile floor as it pierces through the daughter's tiny body over and over again. She repeated this act over 100 times while singing a lullaby. Now, after stabbing her child to death, she was not done with her sickening brutality. She went ahead, cut her into pieces, and ate her intestine, her kidney, and her liver. One neighbor described the scene as if it was a ritual on the living room floor. Olivia removed her daughter's liver, heart, and intestine, sat next to the remaining body, and started eating while the neighbors watched in horror, not sure if what they were seeing was real or an imagination of their worst nightmare. They were horrified and shocked to the core. Before we continue with this horrific story, please support our work by clicking on the subscribe button. We keep you updated with true crime stories around Kenya and the rest of the world. Please consider subscribing, like, and share our videos. The police who were called in discovered a crime scene that was unimaginable and of indescribable violence. None of them was prepared for the horrors they found in that room on that fateful day. Even seasoned police officers were horrified of what they saw in that room. Now, what is sad about this story is that Gloria Njeri did not know she would meet such a horrific death. Her demise left the family, the whole community, and even strangers grappling with grief and devastation. There was disbelief in their faces. I personally watched the video, and I can tell you, watching the video is like watching a horror movie trailer on a repeat. The footage is horrifying to watch. I knew what I was watching, but I did not want to believe it was true. I was in denial. The crime scene was indescribable. Everyone who watched the video was in denial. This woman unleashed terror and violence on her own child, totally unprovoked. There was no undoing of this horrific scene. It was horrible. It was tragic. Now, Gloria Njeri's last moment with her mother must have been horrific, confusing, and terrifying. Seeing the person she loved and trusted the most acting in such a scary and violently taking her young life away must have been very, very scary for her. I wonder if she was also wondering why the neighbors could not come to her rescue. Now, reading about the story and watching the video can leave serious, devastating feeling. I can just imagine what the community feel, especially the neighbors who witnessed this horrific act and were unable to help this little girl. It must have been a very, very traumatic experience for them. This gruesome murder left the quiet, safe, and sleepy village of Kitengela in shock. An innocent little child was murdered in cold blood by someone whom they trusted and loved. One of their own had become a murderer and a child killer, someone whom they grew up with. It left a cloud of fear and distrust hanging over the whole community. The effect of this murder will last for a very, very long time in the people of Kitengela, especially the family of Olivia and Gloria and the neighbors who actually witnessed the crime. Finally, when the police arrived, Olivia had collapsed on the floor next to the mutilated body of her own child. Even police officer could not imagine someone who would do that, and worse still, they could not describe the crime scene. Both Olivia and the body of Gloria Njeri, or what remained of her, were taken to the hospital for postmortem. At the hospital, the police forced her to vomit the pieces of Gloria she had eaten. At the time of the murder, police investigation led by Benson Mutai, the Kitengela DCI, stated to the public that they are investigating if Olivia was struggling with mental illness, and they pleaded with the public and the court to give them time to investigate. They also stated they were investigating if the murder was premeditated. Now, Olivia's journey through the legal system began on May 6, 2023, just 10 days after her gruesome crime. When Olivia was arraigned in court, in her defense, she stated that she hates herself and suffers from low self-esteem, and that's the reason why she killed her own child. She claims that she went through a lot of pain and suffering with her daughter, and she just wanted to end the suffering. Now I quote, "I hate myself. I suffer from low self-esteem, and that is why I killed my child. I have gone through a lot of pain with my daughter." While not mentioning the kinds of suffering she had gone through with her baby, she explains she first wanted to take her own life before changing her mind and turning the knife to her own daughter. What Olivia did to her own flesh and blood was despicable and came as a complete shock to many people. She was raised in a normal home with two hardworking parents who provided a good and a comfortable life for both of them. Why would she do that? Someone may wonder what made her snap and commit such a heinous crime on her own daughter. What amount of emotional breakdown can cause someone to kill her own kin? Now, this shocking crime led to different reaction on social media. Most people expressing their thought on the story. There was questions in everybody's mind. Everyone on social media wanted to know what made this 24-year-old mother of one so violently stab and murder her own flesh and blood. Others say it was mental illness, but then again, mental illness is not an excuse to commit such a horrific murder on a defenseless little child. Others saying she was not in her right mind, while others disagree. Most people claim she wanted revenge. She was heartbroken when her relationship with the father of her child did not work out. Her only way to get back at the father was to kill their child. They claim she wanted revenge so bad she ended up killing their only child. Others even claim she should suffer the same fate, while others were kind enough to send their sympathies to the families of Gloria and the whole community of Kitengela. Most people say she was very much sane while committing this crime of murder and cannibalism. She was not mentally sick, as others may claim. She was just crying crazy, and the act of singing a crazy lullaby was an excuse to seek sympathy and make the public think she was crazy or possessed, and therefore she should not plead insanity. The fact that she locked the doors and the windows with 2 padlocks, preventing the neighbors from accessing the home, making it more difficult for the neighbors to break down the doors and rescue the little girl, shows that the murder was premeditated. Now, based on the evidence and the act of the crime she committed, it was determined that Olivia could determine between wrong and right. She was very, very much sane, and that's why she locked the doors with 2 padlocks. Now, her effort to make herself look troubled or insane or maybe possessed by some evil spirit did not work on the judge either. And Olivia Nazarene was charged with the unimaginable crime of brutally murdering her own child and was sent to prison. Now, watching this video makes me feel for the family of Olivia Nazarene and Gloria Njeri for losing both a daughter and a granddaughter. I really feel for the mother. Imagine your child, your own child, killing your own grandchild in such a vile and a brutal way. You come back to a place you've called home for many years, a place you feel safe, a place you feel at peace, and you find your grandchild's blood and flesh scattered all over the living room. And to make matters worse, your daughter, your own daughter, did this to her. And to make even more worse and bizarre, she even ate pieces of her. How do you come to terms with such tragedy? I can't really wrap my head around this. How do you make peace with such horrors? Gloria did not deserve the evil treatment she received from her mother. It was really sad that the woman who was supposed to love and protect her the most was instead the one who ended her life. This case left a scary, horrific feeling on me as a parent. This mother's low self-esteem, self-hate, and poor judgment led to the little 2-year-old untimely death. May her soul rest in peace.